drawing all men to Jesus through the Word of God. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss a chapter.
Revelation chapter 13. The beast from the sea. And the dragon, Satan, stood on the sandy shore of the sea. Then I saw a vicious beast coming up out of the sea, with 10 horns and 7 heads, and on his horns were 10 royal crowns, and on his heads were blasphemous names. And the beast that I saw resembled a leopard, but his feet were like those of a bear, and his mouth was like that of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his throne and great authority. I saw one of his heads which seemed to have a fatal wound, but his fatal wound was healed, and the entire earth followed after the beast in amazement. They fell down and worshipped the dragon, because he gave his authority to the beast. They also worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like as great as the beast, and who is able to wage war against him?" And the beast was given a mouth, the power of speech, uttering great things and arrogant and blasphemous words. And he was given freedom and authority to act and to do as he pleased for 42 months, 3.5 years. And he opened his mouth to speak blasphemies, abusive speech, slander against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and those who live in heaven. He was also permitted to wage war against the saints, God's people, and to overcome them, and authority and power over every tribe and people and language and nation. All the inhabitants of the earth will fall down and worship him, everyone whose name has not been written since the foundation of the world in the book of life of the Lamb who has been slain as a willing sacrifice. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. If anyone is destined for captivity, he will go into captivity. If anyone kills with a sword, he must be killed with a sword. Here is the call for the patient endurance and the faithfulness of the saints, which is seen in the response of God's people to difficult times. The beast from the earth. Then I saw another beast rising up out of the earth. He had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke like a dragon. He exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence when the 2 are together, and he makes the earth and those who inhabit it worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs, awe-inspiring acts, even making fire fall from the sky to the earth right before people's eyes. And he deceives those unconverted ones who inhabit the earth into believing him because of the signs which he is given by Satan to perform in the presence of the first beast, telling those who inhabit the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded fatally by the sword and has come back to life. And he is given power to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast will even appear to speak and cause those who do not bow down and worship the image of the beast to be put to death. Also he compels all, the small and the great, and the rich and the poor, and the free men and the slaves, to be given a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, signifying allegiance to the beast, and that no one will be able to buy or sell except the one who has the mark, either the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let the person who has enough insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the imperfect number of man, and is the number 666. Revelation chapter 14. The Lamb and the 144,000 on Mount Zion. Then I looked, and this is what I saw. The Lamb stood firmly established on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 who had his name and his father's name inscribed on their foreheads, signifying God's own possession. And I heard a voice from heaven, like the sound of great waters and like the rumbling of mighty thunder. And the voice that I heard seemed like music and was like the sound of harpists playing on their harps. And they sang a new song before the throne of God and before the 4 living creatures. and the elders, and no one could learn the song except the 144,000 who had been purchased, ransomed, redeemed from the earth. These are the ones who have not been defiled by relations with women, for they are celibate. These are the ones who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These have been purchased and redeemed from among men of Israel as the firstfruits, sanctified and set apart for special service for God and the Lamb. No lie was found in their mouth, for they are blameless, spotless, untainted, beyond reproach. The angel with the gospel. Then I saw another angel flying in mid-heaven with an eternal gospel to preach to the inhabitants of the earth, to every nation and tribe and language and people. And he said with a loud voice, Fear God with awe and reverence, and give him glory and honor and praise and worship, because the hour of his judgment has come. With all your heart worship him who created the heaven and the earth, the sea and the springs of water. Doom for proud Babylon. Then another angel, a second one, followed, saying, Fallen, fallen is Babylon the great, she who has made all nations drink the wine of the passion of her immorality, corrupting them with idolatry. Doom for worshippers of the beast. Then another angel, a third one, followed them, saying with a loud voice, Whoever worships the beast and his image and receives the mark of the beast on his forehead or on his hand, he too will have to drink of the wine of the wrath of God, mixed undiluted into the cup of his anger, and he will be tormented with fire and brimstone, flaming sulfur, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb Christ. And the smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever, and they have no rest day and night, those who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. Here is encouragement for the steadfast endurance of the saints, God's people, those who habitually keep God's commandments and their faith in Jesus. Then I heard the distinct words of a voice from heaven saying, Write, blessed, happy, prosperous, to be admired are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, blessed indeed, says the Spirit, so that they may rest and have relief from their labors, for their deeds to follow them. The reapers. Again I looked, and this is what I saw. A white cloud, and sitting on the cloud was one like the Son of Man, with a crown of gold on his head, and a sharp sickle of swift judgment in his hand. And another angel came out of the temple, calling with a loud voice to him who was sitting upon the cloud, Put in your sickle and reap at once, for the hour to reap in judgment has arrived, because the earth's harvest is fully ripened. So he who was sitting on the cloud cast his sickle over the earth, and the earth was reaped, judged. Then another angel came out of the temple sanctuary in heaven, and he also had a sharp sickle. And another angel came from the altar, the one who has power over fire. And he called with a loud voice to him who had the sharp sickle, saying, Put in your sharp sickle and reap the clusters of grapes from the vine of the earth, because her grapes are ripe for judgment. So the angel swung his sickle to the earth and harvested the grapevine of the earth, and threw the grapes into the great wine press of the wrath and indignation of God as judgment of the rebellious world. And the grapes in the winepress were trampled and crushed outside the city, and blood poured from the winepress, reaching up to the horses' bridles, for a distance of 1,600 stadia.